Welcome to the Obesity Medicine Podcast with your host, Dr. Rentea, board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. Here, we talk about a path to metabolic health, and we have real conversations about chronic weight management and living a full life. Just a reminder, I am a physician, but I'm not your physician. So everything that's on this podcast is for informational purposes, but please go talk to your doctor about what's right for you. There is no medical advice being given on this podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, I am so incredibly excited. We have the absolute amazing stylist, Lora LaPratt. Now, background, because I like to always give you background. You might be thinking, Rentea, how do you have an obesity medicine podcast and you're bringing a stylist on? I will tell you, because part of what we do on this podcast is that we really empower you really to sort of move past size, whether it's overweight or obesity, that's a chronic medical condition, but to move forward with your life, to kind of unmarry worthiness from size and things like that. And a personal thing, I'm like, gosh, don't cry as I say this. It's going to get emotional, Lora, before I have you introduce yourself. I have been on this journey for years and years. And, I talked to Lora before how I work with Judith Gatan, who's amazing. I still work with her in different capacities. And I found Lora because my sister worked with you and she had just an amazing time working with you. And I thought, okay, well, I need help because background, I absolutely hate shopping. I don't like fashion. Like I want to look professional and I want to look good, but I don't want to have to do the work. And I thought, but listen, she won't be able to help me because I'm overweight. And she probably works with, skinny minis all day long. And so we had a call and then we worked together. And the reason I'm bringing you on is because I think that this holds back a lot of my listeners. And so can we just start out with you introducing yourself? How do you help the people in the world? Because I know it's not just women. And just tell us a little bit about you, your business, just everything. And then I have so many questions for you today.
First of all, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so honored because working with you has been amazing. You are just a burst of good energy. So I love being around you in any capacity. But yeah, so my name is Lora LaPratt. I started my personal styling business over 17 years ago now, which is crazy to me because I absolutely love what I do. So I get to do my dream job every day. And really why I love what I do is because the ultimate goal is to help my clients to feel like the very best version of themselves every single day. And I work with all different sizes, all different budgets, men, women, all different ages across the board. I have clients, that are very busy professionals that just don't have time to shop and want me to tell them exactly what to do. But really, I also work with clients, stay-at-home mothers who have not had time to focus on themselves in years because they've just, been putting all of the time and energy and money into their children and their family. And also people who have lost or gained weight and helping them to just really dress for the body that you have now. And it can make such a huge difference on a daily basis if you walk out the door with confidence and feeling like the best version of yourself. So that is literally why I love what I do, is because I get to help men and women feel good every day.
Oh my gosh. I have chills right now because I'm like, again, one of the areas I want to start with you, because I had a lot of drama about this. I think that people are going to have a lot of thoughts about who deserves the stylist, who, who actually gets to look fashionable. I think I don't know. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like there's lots of thoughts about, I think people assume it's like a rich CEO who's like, I don't know. I had lots of thoughts about it. Was I in a position in life where someone could help me in this capacity? Like, what do you encounter that where people have lots of drama around this?
Yeah, I do think that it's changed a lot. 17 years ago when I started this business, people were like, first of all, when I said told people what I was going to do, the idea of a stylist didn't even exist. So people were like, okay, good luck with that, Lora. But I have absolutely loved how kind of fashion and just people's confidence around fashion has evolved so much in the last 15, 20 years. And in the beginning, I think there was so much of that around it. Like, oh, it's just for celebrities. It's just for the rich and famous. Yeah. But I think especially there's so much talk about pre-COVID, post-COVID, but I really think that post-COVID, people are really looking for a more intimate one-on-one situation when it comes to so many aspects of their life. Yeah. And I also think people realized that if this portion of your life isn't bringing you joy, have someone that it does bring joy to, like help you with it. So
Oh,
delegating things outside of your life, whether it's building things in your home or organizing or your wardrobe, I think delegation has become more common. And then
totally.
also just that one-on-one relationship, which is I love because another thing I didn't mention, but a huge focus of my business is focusing on local designers, small businesses, local boutiques. So I pull from all the local places before all else. And I do love that. I think people are paying more attention to that now. And you get more of a personal experience that way and having a story behind the clothes that you're buying.
You do. You do. Okay. I love that oh God, it's always so much more than we think, right? Like, I love everything that you brought up. And I agree. I mean, I've lived in Chicago my entire life, besides here more recently being in Indiana. And the things that that you brought to me that I'm wearing now, I never knew these designers existed. And they're
Yeah.
not, I mean, I'm like, how is this even possible that you can exist, you can exist in the same world and you don't know that? So you really helped show me a different thing. But one thing I want to start with, though, if we can kind of take it all the way back, because this is kind of
Yeah.
like the beginning of the arc where I want to go from. So I had just a lot of apprehension working with someone because clothing has always been very fraught with me, with my abdominal area, things haven't fit well, or being short or this or that. Like, there's just always, I've just been very sort of aware of what my limitations are. And I feel like with you, it was one of the few people where I felt very comfortable. And I'm wondering if someone is looking for someone to help them in this area. Let's just stick to, they're looking for a stylist. How do they know what to look for? Like, what should they be asking? How do they know that they're going to find someone that's safe? Like, how do you know
Yeah.
that?
I think that's such a great question. And I think it's so important because having a personal stylist is scary, especially the first time you work with the stylist, because I guarantee every single client that I've ever worked with was terrified that they weren't going to like anything I brought them the first time that we worked together. But then I think it really is, for me personally, it is all about getting to know my clients on a personal level and helping them to just feel comfortable and safe in the environment
Okay.
before we even work together for the first time.
Okay.
So I think that a initial consultation, mine are now via phone because I work with clients literally worldwide now. So
Okay.
my consultations are via phone, and I feel like I've heard over and over again that it's when people are interviewing multiple clients, you know when you click with somebody and when
Yeah.
they just get it. So yeah, my goal is to just really, really listen to my clients' needs and wants and help them also to understand that it's possible. These clothes are out there for them. And
Yeah.
I what you're saying resonates not only with for you, but literally every single client that reaches out is concerned about something that they're
Yeah.
looking for, whether they're super tall and they've never been able to find jeans that fit,
Right.
or they're too tiny and the clothes just hang on them, or plus size clients. Everybody has something. And
Mhm.
that's why they reach out to a stylist, because it's hard for them and it is overwhelming. And I take all of that scary stress out of it and just make it a really fun, enjoyable, but also kind of renewing. And like I always say, it's like a workout mentally and physically.
It totally is. And I have so many questions for you about that process because, so just to kind of recap though, if people are listening, you have to trust your gut when you're doing these consult calls. So basically you're legitimately getting on there. I'm sure that you're seeing that they're a good fit for you too. But I know when I spoke to you, I had a really intuitive feeling like this is going to be good. I feel comfortable. I always use the word triggered. Like I wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Like I didn't want to go into this experience with that. So people
Yeah.
really need to see, like, does this feel right for me? And
Yeah.
it's not like, well, because I don't have expertise in this area, I'm just going to trust this person, but I feel like I'm not feeling good about it. Like really
Yeah.
feeling comfortable with what's happening when they're talking to you.
100%. Because it really, like, again, like I mentioned, it's a mental and physical workout. And so for me, it's so important to make my clients understand that, like, I'm there for you, both for your style and your wardrobe, but also, like, we're going to go through, like, making you feel good about yourself. So there is definitely that, like, therapy side of things as well for people too. So just like to help people, you want to feel good and confident and comfortable with who you're bringing into a lot of people, the most intimate room in your house. We're spending hours in your bedroom, in your closet, like, just
But
figuring out.
I love that you said it's a mental and a physical workout because that cannot be more like the truth. I mean,
Yeah,
because it's funny. I always thought, oh, I'm just like weak, but it's actually exhausting trying on things. I even experienced this
totally.
like physically going to a store. And so I say this because maybe there's other people out there that have had this experience too. And then you think, well, I can never look good because I can't find my size in the stores and no one knows what I want and it doesn't exist. And it's like you really don't know because one of the things that really helped me with you is you just had it lined up like one after another. And it was just like, I could just like rapid fire through it because I have no energy to like make it hours and hours with doing it. I don't enjoy it, you know?
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing that's really important is I work with so many different clients and everyone approaches it in a different way. So just making sure that my clients know that we're going to go through this process the best way that you are comfortable with. So like you said, you
Totally.
are like rapid fire, you make decisions, we get through it so quickly. And believe me, you are like one end of the spectrum and there is everything in between. So, and I'm love working with all of it, all the different clients. So it really is just like figuring out the right process for each individual and making sure that they feel comfortable and confident.
Love it. Okay, so I have a bunch of questions that either things that I've encountered with patients and along their stories, like things that I see needing to happen. And then I asked people on Instagram and we got such great questions. So I want to kind of just go through and get your thoughts on each of these. It's totally random. And I think you're good with this though.
I
We're
like
gonna go there.
random.
So my first question is, what thoughts or what advice would you have for someone that they're on, I would say an intentional fat loss journey, but they are transforming their body in some capacity. And so let's say that they are losing weight and maybe they're not at the end of their journey, okay? Because everyone always thinks they're going to pop out 100. I mean, I sometimes work with patients that have more weight to lose and they think somehow something magical is going to happen at 100 pounds. And I'm like, if you didn't feel that magic on the way down, it's not coming. But my question is, I'm talking about how do you approach someone that they're actually wanting to feel better on the way down, but they're having a little bit of angst about, I don't want to invest in myself when I know the size might
Yeah.
change in a few months. What would you provide to that person?
Great question because this comes up no matter what size my clients are, like all across the board, people are hoping to lose something
Yeah.
often. And my advice is to dress for the body that you have now. It is so important to not wait for that someday to come because, as you know, and I'm assuming you also teach your clients, weight loss doesn't happen overnight. It
No.
is a process, and if it's going to be a like long time journey, then it doesn't happen overnight. And there is no reason for you to live your life waiting for that someday when you can feel good now in the body you have. And it is mind blowing how dressing correctly for your body, you literally can look in the mirror and look like you instantly lost 20, 30, 40 pounds, depending on who you are. It's all about the styling, the fit, and just feeling like the best version of yourself.
Okay, I love that you brought that up because we talked on the phone the other day for a few minutes. You
Yeah.
made the most interesting comment, and I hope I'm not butchering this how you said it. You were like, well, you could right now if you want to dress like you've already lost weight. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you mean do you mean
Yeah,
dressing in such a way that you look better even right now? But it was like the way you said it. I was like, and
100%.
I noticed that when we worked together, like there were some outfits that I would put on where I'm like, what just happened? It's like, is this a body dysmorphia moment? Like it just shrunk 3 sizes. But because
Yeah,
you would teach me like, look, this is the waist level. So we need to bring the hem of your shirt up. I don't know if that's the right name for
totally.
is that it? Okay. So I was like, we need to bring that
Oh,
up and then
the
match
sleeve
this.
thing. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. And this actually brings me, so I love what you provided there. Dress for the body you have now. You can feel good right now. And then you can even look better right now. And I think that's actually
Oh,
motivational because I
huge.
think when you look in the mirror and you look better at that moment, you want to keep going. That's my main
Yeah,
thing. So
totally.
I love that you brought that up. Now, second thing, I was thinking, what are like the three most common areas where people always have a trouble zone and what would be a tip for each? Like I can think of some that I could think of, but what do you
Yeah.
most often encounter and what do you provide as like one tip for each?
That's such a great question. Okay. So the as you know, I send out questionnaires for every first time client to really dive in. As after 17 years, I know what questions to ask to really figure out what is going to work for each client. But one of the questions that I ask that I've been asking for 18 years that really helps to hone in on whether it's what their actual problem area is or like what's in their head as their problem area makes a huge difference too. But 90% of the time it's stomach. Everybody,
Yes.
the stomach and arms is another one that comes up often. In my same question, I ask your favorite and least favorite body parts. And it is so sad that it's so hard for people to come up with their favorite body parts. And then the least favorite is just such a list. So I always like really want to focus on also considering what your favorite body parts are too, and like highlighting those. So don't skip over those body parts that you like to show off and like are proud of. But yeah, stomach and arms often come up. And then like thighs and hips are another one. Depending on body shapes and how like those messages that you got in your head as a little kid often like stick with you no matter what shape and size you are. So
Completely. It's
yeah.
okay. When you bring this up, I remember the questionnaire and being like, wait, what do I like? What do you mean? What do you mean, Laura? What do I like? Like,
I
I'm your own things
know.
I don't like. It's
Exactly. I
exactly
know.
what you said.
I It is nice though, because so many clients also say like after we work together, that list of likes goes up, which is the goal. You know what I mean? We want
I,
to.
I'm I'm rocking out my stomach. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
it's so
Oh
funny.
my God. Are you wearing that cute little crop top right now? I feel like
I
you are.
am. I'm wearing all of it. Okay.
I
All that's
love it.
only we got rid of everything else. But okay, so let's go through all of this. So if someone's listening,
Okay.
tell me. So I use the term in medicine apron belly, but it's when you have like some additional weight and there starts to be a little bit of like hanging abdominal
Yeah.
adipose tissue. I'm using medical terms to kind of medicalize it, but there's a certain shape that turns different with that. And I think people are really held back by that because we don't think it's
Yeah.
like the standard of beauty, but how can people work with that in a good way?
Okay, so the best thing about fashion right now, like styles that are on trend, there's so many great things, honestly, about what's on trend right now. Quickly, side note, what's trending is classic, which is great because it's worth the investment. But when it comes to also the stomach area, which is everyone's biggest issue, the trend of high rise is such a game changer for so many people. And it freaks people out at first because a lot of people think I have this belly. If I'm wearing a high rise jean, it accentuates it. And there's this like pooch under, and it is the complete opposite. Honestly, one of the biggest takeaways for most of my clients is just to remember that you want to accentuate your thinnest points and not your widest points. So when it comes to pants or denim or even like dresses, oftentimes people are accentuating like their widest points where their belly is as opposed to above the belly. So a high rise is perfect. And maybe for a hot second, you're going to like look under the waistband and be like, what is happening here? Nobody else is looking that there.
No
Everyone is
one.
looking at your waist. Everyone is looking at that snatched waist. And I understand that, some people look, depending on your body shape, if you are more of an hourglass figure, of course, like a full tuck is a great idea, no matter what size you are. If you don't feel like you're an hourglass, you can do like a messy tuck or have a shirt that hits at your thinnest point without having to tuck it. And it just literally is a huge, huge game changer.
That okay, you first of all, everything you're saying is a gem, right? I don't want to interrupt you, but like the messy tuck for me, the tuck in the front, but not the back, like that's
Yeah.
God, it's these little things that make a difference,
Yeah.
right? And guys, I can't stress to you, I have zero literacy in this. I was quickly taught.
You're so funny.
So, okay, that was amazing for the abdominal area. Tell me about arms. What can people do
Okay,
there?
arms is like a tricky one because it really depends on the body shape. So it depends on if you're like broad shouldered or narrow shouldered, depending on the neckline and stuff. But universally, a V neck is universally the most flattering neckline on everyone. So if you feel like you have like a larger arm, typically like a V neck is going to be better than a higher neckline just because it draws the eyes down as opposed to your arms. But another thing that makes a huge difference with it's almost again kind of taking that thinnest point. So again, focusing on the thinnest point. So sometimes that's not your like your actual waist, your natural waist, sorry, is what I'm looking for. So with your sleeve lengths, making sure if you want to have coverage on your arms, making sure that that coverage isn't like enveloping your arms and like hiding, which so often happens, especially with my plus size clients. They feel like, you know, wearing a bag or a tent is better, and it is not. And so just taking sleeve lengths and cuffing them or shoving them or ruching them to kind of like your elbow. And that typically will bring in whatever shirt you're wearing at your thinnest point, your waist. So again, we're just like trying to take the eye away from the arms and bringing it down with a V-neck or to your waist with the sleeve length.
Oh my gosh, it's like we're creating art right now. Like I can see it. I can see it. I don't care about clothes, but I want to go do this stuff.
Right? It's kind of
so good.
The hard part is I hope everyone listening can understand because I know for you, like I've shown you like physically in front of the mirror. And sometimes it does make such a big difference just having that person there to like walk you through the steps and show you what game changers these things can be. But literally, hopefully I'm describing them well enough that you guys at home can like play around with this and just like have fun in the mirror.
I'm literally hearing the inspiration from what you're saying. Like, I think people are literally like, even if they can't work with someone, like they're literally going to get these ideas. And then tell me the last one for thighs or hips, because I do hear that too.
Yeah. Okay. So typically with thighs and hips, there's so many great things out there, again, with like style trends going on. Oftentimes people think that they have to stick with this like skinny jean situation. And it's mind blowing to me because the skinny jean just, not that there's a problem with the skinny jean, by the way, like right now it's like anything goes with the denim, which is very great. Keeping the rise high makes a huge difference if you're going to wear a skinny jean. But when it comes to pants, like having a boot cut or a straight, something that like isn't making those proportions so dramatic where they come in at the ankle and like out at the hips, but also kind of steering away from a pant and going towards an A-line beautiful dress or skirt is another really, really great option. So again, we're like accentuating the waist and also then depending on the dress length, focusing on the legs a little bit more.
Okay. Oh my gosh, these are so good. All right, I want to keep going because I know we're like, we only have so much time. I'm like, we need all the goodness. Okay, those are so good though. All right, my next question is, what are your thoughts on Spanx or shapewear?
Okay, my initial thing, like I literally just wanted to yell, hate them. So,
okay, you're my person.
No, I am a huge advocate. And like from day one, my like fashion mentality is confidence and comfort are the best outfit makers. So if you are more comfortable in Spanx, like by all means, rock them. But if Spanx give you anxiety, like most people, like there is literally zero reason to wear them. And honestly, like they don't make, there are options out there. And I think I've shown you that it's more about smoothing out the lines than like sucking in.
Yes.
So
yes,
I love actually my go-to brand for like, it's not shapewear. It's like smoothing underwear specifically for when you're wearing dresses and stuff is actually Jockey. And they make this like cooling short that like literally every shape and size of my clients love that I've like turned them on to. And I live in them when I'm wearing like skirts and dresses. So it really, but that is something to keep in mind. Shapewear is not necessary, first of all, but underwear and where it is hitting makes a huge difference. So having a high rise underwear is key because so many clients say like, this looks horrible because there's like a random line somewhere that is actually looking like you have a belly that doesn't actually exist. Where if we can just smooth that out, we don't need to suck it in. We just need to like smooth out the lines. That makes a huge, huge difference.
Okay. I love that you brought this up because again, listen, anyone who's listening, I guess I'm the one on the podcast, so I'll be talking about it. But I hate discomfort when things are just like, it's like we have this body, we're trying to like make it into something it's not, and we're all
No.
uncomfortable all night. And then like at the end of the night, we have gas and pain. I'm like, we didn't need to feel this bad. So I love that
Yeah.
you bring this up. And that was actually my next question too, was like in the summer, sometimes, if people are living in a larger body, there's some like chafing of the thighs, things like that. And so this,
Shape
you
of
said,
bodies have that, by the way. So
we don't get
yeah.
to claim that. But this
No,
is good. So you recommend the jockey cooling short. That's the one that you
yeah.
would like, that you liked.
Jockey, I think they're called slip shorts. And there's two different lengths. Go with the longer length. The shorter length will still give shaping. And there's two different like weights. Go with the cooling short year round. There's no reason. They're so comfortable. They feel like satin on your skin, and
Okay.
they are your underwear. So you don't need to wear underwear underneath them. It's just this high rise, super thin short that you can wear as underwear.
Okay. That's good that you brought it up. I tried this other brand, not at your recommendation. This was not you. And it was like, they didn't work. They were too thin. It was like
Yeah.
so thin that there was nothing. I was like, what are we doing? There's supposed to be
No.
some help here.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that is
Exactly.
good to know.
Yes.
So this next question, I don't know if you have an answer for it, but I'm like, I wanted to ask it. Is there a quote unquote most important wardrobe item where you see it make the most difference for somebody?
That's such a good question. I don't know if there's like one specific. I will say I've been like kind of people are going through this. It kind of happens every 5 to 10 years. This capsule wardrobe trend is back.
Yes.
Um,
Guilty. Gosh, everything you're saying, I'm like, are you talking to me?
yeah. And I have like a bit of a love-hate relationship with the idea of a capsule wardrobe. I do love the idea of having like an amazingly fitting base of like basics. The key is that they're elevated basics that mix and match like effortlessly. Like I absolutely love
Yeah.
that. However, a lot of people, especially like 5 to 10 years ago, went through this trend of like literally like purging everything and getting down to this like 30 item wardrobe that like mixes and matches, which is lovely. But then all these same clients reach out to me months later because they're bored. So like my thing with like the love-hate relationship, love having this capsule wardrobe of an amazing base to your wardrobe. It is game changing. But then keep all those cool, special, fun pieces, like whether you get them on your trips or they mean something to you and you just don't know how to wear them. 99% of the time, the answer is pairing them with the elevated basics. So like
Yeah.
that elevated basics, yes, you can mix and match it and make a ton of options, but also know that it's very useful for those fun pieces that actually add in your personality too.
It's, I went through all of this before you. I was like, I just need 3 taps and 2 pens, and nothing was ever clean. It always
Yeah.
looked bad quality because I was washing it like all the
Well,
time.
right.
Is that a thing?
Exactly. That's the other thing. It's like you get this amazing base, but then that's all you're wearing. So it's totally worn out in like an instant. And so that is the other key. Like if you are someone who like loves this like minimal mix and matchable elevated basics, which again is very trendy right now, and I love the idea of it, you need to make sure that those basics are elevated. Like they have to be the right fit. They have to look, they don't need to be expensive, but they need to look expensive or you're not going to look
Yes.
chic in that like jeans and a t-shirt look, you know?
It's it's so true. It reminds me, I'm gonna butcher all these terms, but sort of that like French look where you like worked really hard, but you don't look like you did it. Like, do you know I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
name for that, but
Effortless
like,
is so on right now. Like you want to look effortless and it can be very effortless, but it's all about having the right basics.
yeah. Okay, this is so good. All right, my next question here, and I don't know how much we can even tackle this, but I was actually talking to, because I consulted all my friends before this call. I was like, tell me all the questions. So
I love
one
it.
of them, we had a big conversation about bras. So like undergarments, and we were talking about how every place fits you differently, has a different thought, and you're getting poked and prodded. Do you have thoughts on this? Because I feel like it's a landmine. Like there's whole
Yeah,
courses on this. Yeah.
I know. Okay, so bras is a tricky one that I have never personally like dove into like selling of the bras,
Yeah.
mainly because everyone has a different like comfort zone when it comes to bras. Everyone is looking for something different, and it doesn't have to do with your body shape. It has to do with your comfort.
I'm so
So
glad you say that. Okay, sorry,
yeah,
keep talking about. I'm like, that's
no,
it. You actually said what I've been thinking, like what I haven't been able to put words to for years. Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
And
Yeah.
some people want that push up, like no matter what your body shape is, whether you have huge or tiny, a huge or tiny chest, some people want the push up. Some people want that to diminish, like to minimize, sorry. You know, some people are fully focused on comfort. I am a huge, again, I've said the word comfort. It should be a drinking game. I've said the word comfort so many times, but I'm a huge comfort person, and my bras are as close to a sports bra as possible. And it's
Right.
all I've worn for years. And I know that's crazy coming from a stylist, because so many so many stylists say that, like, you know, you need to have like the perfect, expensive push-up bra that like changes everything. And personally, I think you need to have comfort and confidence, and that changes everything. So yeah, I have bras that I recommend to people, but they're the ones that I like, and they're not perfect for everybody.
Totally. Okay, I'm so glad that you answered this because it's funny. I was thinking, have you seen all those reels where the girl, like in 2 seconds, if the dinner plans get canceled, she's back in the
Yes.
bras off to this and that. And it's like, yeah, because they're so uncomfortable and you just don't
Yeah,
want to live your life like that, right?
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
100%.
So that was like so an angle I hadn't thought about. Someone asked, how do you wear a jean jacket? And I actually kind of want to ask this too, because I got one and I don't know how to wear it. Like,
This is like one of my favorite questions because I'm obsessed with jean jackets. I'm obsessed with layers in general. Layers instantly make your look. If you're like standing in front of the mirror and you're like, this is like meh, add a layer, somehow add a layer, and it
okay.
instantly will like pull the look together. But jean jackets are like one of my like capsule wardrobe musts. And it's funny because clients that I worked with like 17 years ago, I was telling them to like get rid of their denim jacket. Whoops. But they're back in full force and they're not going anywhere. So, but the nice thing about denim jackets, it's kind of like jeans right now, like all shapes and sizes go. And depending on your style, like the shape and style of the denim jacket can like give you a totally different vibe. So like there's, you know, if you're a little more preppy, like a little cute fitted, like a little bit of stretch denim jacket is great. If you're a little more like edgy street style, like oversized and boxy is really, really cool. And there's like everything in between. You can go cropped, you can go long, but denim jackets over a dress with a little white tennis shoe are one of my like favorite combos, like instant cuteness.
Yeah. I'm having a mind blown moment right now because I got a dress with you and I was like, I just need to have this in my closet because some wedding or something's going to pop up. But
Yeah.
then I was like, that's it. Because I was like, I don't know what to, yeah, I'm having a
Oh,
moment. That's perfect.
and don't save those dresses for weddings. Literally any dress in your closet, if you throw a denim or a leather jacket and like a white tennis shoe in the spring, summer, like combat boot or something in the fall, winter, wear those fancy dresses. Like
I promise I'm going to, because that was my thought too. I stopped saving everything for a nice occasion because those things never
yeah,
come. And then you just have all
yeah.
this stuff sitting in your closet. No, totally. But
And you
okay,
can
that
wear
is
that
so
same dress
good.
without the jean jacket and tennis shoe, and no one's going to recognize it. It's going to look totally cool and different for a wedding.
Totally. By the way, if you're not following her on Instagram, do it. We're gonna say at the end how to follow her. We'll have it in the show notes. You know, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm all day long tagging her. So just go ahead and follow her now. Cause even Laura, every day when you post your outfits, I'm like, I get inspiration.
Oh, good. I hear that so much. I know. I love that. And like, I love when people start, like, people send me inspo pictures for a styling session. And when I'm like part of the inspo, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. It's just kidding.
You're like me?
Yeah. I love it. Well, just denim jackets. The other thing is just going back to that cuffing makes a big difference. So sometimes you'll put on a jean jacket and depending on the fit, it'll just feel like too boxy and oversized. But literally as soon as you like shove those sleeves up to your waist, so like typically right around your elbow, just makes a huge, huge difference. So don't be afraid to like play around with where the cuffs of your sleeves hit to like know if you actually like the fit or not.
Yeah. Okay. That is so good. All right. I have one last question for you. Here's the heavy hitter. trouble getting rid of clothes because I think people, I'll tell you specifically how I hear about it in my land is people are like, well, when you're going to be like gaining weight back and losing it or just so I think there's that scenario where it's like, how do you address these people where they're going different sizes? And that might be like pregnancy or other things. But then the other thing is like things are worn out, but they're just not like, how do you know how to get rid of clothes? I guess what's your thought process?
That's a wonderful question. And I do it with clients all day, every day. So I definitely have like a process. And the first thing to know that I kind of tell clients is if there are items that are just sitting in your closet, taking up space, there is no way that that's not creating like angst and anxiety and stress when you're looking in your closet every day.
So
That
true.
even if you have great pieces in there that you love, if you're also like in the mix of that is all this stuff that doesn't bring you joy, doesn't fit, looks worn or torn or dated. All those pieces are just like overwhelming when you look in your closet. And I literally just worked with a client yesterday. We got rid of like 8, like not normal size trash bags, like huge trash bags, donating them. So they're going to a good cause, but got rid of these clothes and she didn't even like notice. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, because we all have our favorites, right? But we have all this stuff in there. We refuse to acknowledge that we hate
yeah,
it. We just refuse. But I like how you're saying it's
exactly.
blocking you. Like it's actually causing something negative for you. It's not just like an
Yeah.
inert object. You're having to manage it. I like to think about that too. It's like you actually have to keep like it's sitting there not being used, but you keep having to manage it. That's part of what you have to
Yes.
do.
And there's so many side thoughts to that. So first of all, if you are like fluctuating in weight, of course you can always, some clients that really do fluctuate often, I will like set a bin aside for them where we put the clothes that they do not fit in right now, whether they're too big or too small, get them out of your like eyesight. Because the ones that are too big are just like taking up space. The ones that are too small are making you sad. Like there's things that don't need to be in your closet, taking up the like realty, taking up the space. When you look in your closet, the goal for my clients is for them to walk in or look in their closet, absolutely love everything they see and know how and when to wear them in like multiple ways.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah.
So
And
good.
then, worn and tattered pieces, like it's time to get rid of. And the one thing that is hard for clients to do sometimes on their own is the dated situation. Oftentimes, if you hold on to clothes thinking you're going to fit back into them, they're dated. You want to reward yourself with something that like looks and feels good, whether you gain weight or lose weight or whatever your goals are. By the time you fit into these pieces, they're not going to feel or look good. And even if they fit, they're going to feel like they don't fit because styles change so much. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, those are all so good. Okay. Did we ever talk about how I love following the minimal mom? And this is more like decluttering stuff, but she talks about making a
Oh,
time will tell bin. And that kind of reminds me of what you're talking about. Get it out of your
mm,
sight. You're not using it. And like, if you need those clothes in the next 6 months, fine. But maybe you've moved past that point
yeah.
where it doesn't fit you anymore. I especially, because I think nowadays, again, just coming back to a medical angle for a second, we've never actually had really good interventions where people had significant changes and they were able to keep it off. So it was very like, we get results, it's gone. We get results, it's gone. And
Yeah.
nowadays it's like, they almost don't believe it, right? Because it's
Yeah.
like, is this really going to work
Yeah.
this time? And it does. And
Yeah.
so I think that they've never been in a position where they could confidently let go of it and know that I'm not going to need it again?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, well, there's a couple I want to follow Minimal Mom, by the way. I just like resonate
She's
with that. I don't think
amazing.
we've talked about it, but yeah, putting things in a bin. And then if you haven't thought about that bin in a year, like bye. But the other little trick that actually gives me a little bit of anxiety because I like things to look very neat and organized and perfect, but some clients really like the hanger trick. I don't know if you know
Oh,
about
I've
this.
heard, yes, tell the
Yeah.
people. It doesn't work for me, but tell the people.
So
Yeah.
once a year, once a season, whatever you want it to be, you can flip all your hangers the opposite direction in your closet. And then as you wear them, you put them back in the correct direction. So you actually see what you've worn, what you haven't worn. And you can either use it as like a purge process, like get rid of those pieces you're not wearing. Or a lot of clients, I like to tell them to just use it as an inspiration process. So like, oh, I haven't worn that shirt yet. I'm going to wear that this week instead. So
Yeah.
it's something that works for some people. Personally, the hangers not lined up drives me nuts, but
It's so funny. I'm not OCD, but I'm the same way. I want to be able to flip them. So I'm like, well, then we have to wear that. I feel it's like
yeah,
obligation.
yeah, exactly.
But I like the
So,
idea of considering it as inspiration. Like, hey, you've not visited this part of your closet yet.
yeah,
Let's consider that. So that, I
yeah.
think that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And the inspiration thing I think is key, whether you have space in your actual closet or you just get a little like hanging, like you can get these super cute little like hanging things on Amazon, and just keep it in your bedroom. And then even if you're not putting the whole look together, I like to just have clients like hang 3 or 4 pieces there that you want to wear. And as you pass them, you'll get inspired and come up with ideas of like how to wear them.
Gosh, that is such a good idea because
Yeah.
I find when it's in the closet, I just out of sight, out of mind. I'm just one of
Yeah.
those people like it's gone. And I like a very clean aesthetic, like nothing on the counters, everything put away. But
Yeah.
then with the clothes, because I intuitively do not, it's not part of who I am where I just know how to do it. Like you really had to teach me a lot, and I'm so grateful for that. That I really think that would work for me though, to be like, what do you want to do with this? And just to think about it a little bit more. That
Yeah.
is such a good idea.
And then you come
Yeah.
up with the look, you can hang it together, or it's great for like, I know you travel a lot. It's great for like hanging your looks that you're going to wear on the trip and just to like slowly get inspired instead of be pushed into like, what am I going to wear right now?
Totally. Totally. You really changed traveling for me because so I'm going to give a little background here. And then I definitely want to get into how people can find you and how they can work with you. Because I know people are going to be like, wait, I need this help. You created for me a lookbook where you would put like the different pieces and how I could wear it. And like, guys, I needed like textbook help on this because I didn't know what fit with what. Like, I just don't understand that. And that was so incredibly helpful because then I could look through it and I could be like, okay, when I'm going to this conference, I literally would like pack outfits. So it's like, I know each
Yeah.
day what I'm going to wear. It's not this haphazard process. And then I feel very different at the conference because every day's been thought out. It's not the
Yeah.
same ratty tatty jeans. It's like, and I don't think anyone can tell because it's not, again, we're not doing like super elevated with me, but it's just like, I feel comfortable with what's happening, right? It's
Yeah.
made traveling that I find to be hell on earth to be very pleasurable now. Like it's helped that part, right?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And that's the thing. The lookbooks are awesome for, again, across the board for clients because I can do it seasonally and help people you don't have to have new clothes. Sometimes I just go to my clients' homes once every 3 months or so and do like flat lay photos to add to the lookbook, styling looks from their existing wardrobe so that they literally like can just be inspired on the daily basis and not have to like wake up and like throw things around and not feel good. And they can
Totally.
literally just like wake up, look at a picture, throw it on and know it's like stylist approved, personalized for them. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So I just want to say thank you for coming on. And can you
Thank you.
tell the people how a website or social, like how do they find you? And then tell us a little bit of kind of like, what are the different ways in which you help people? Because I know you kind of mentioned some, but just if you can kind of tell people all the things that we know.
Okay. So I have a website, www.shoppinggirlxoxo.com. My business is Shopping Girl XOXO, so that will help you find me everywhere. But beyond my website, I'm all over Instagram all the time, just posting all about my process, all about my daily like styling sessions, outfits of the day. You'll get to know my son really well. So that is at Shopping Girl XOXO. Those are the two best ways. Of course, you can email me, which is Lora, Lora, at shoppinggirlxoxo.com. But there's a contact page on my website, so you don't have to remember that. And there are so many great styling packages available for everyone out there. And I always like to say that it's completely customizable for my clients. But the most common package, especially the first time I work with a client, it's called a full day wardrobe analysis. And what that entails, depending on if you live in Chicago or I'm traveling to you or you're traveling to me, there's all the options. But we have an in-depth phone consultation, and I really get to know my clients and what they're looking for, whether it's what your style is or what you'd like your style to emulate in the end. And I will pull amazingness for you from all over the city, again, focusing on local designers and local boutiques in your size, style, and budget. And either bring it to you so that we can mix and match into your existing wardrobe, or you can come to me. I have a showroom that I'll like set up as like a beautiful boutique just for you. And we just dive into putting full head to toe looks together, teaching you styling tips and tricks that work for you and your body type. And then you can purchase as much or as little as you like. I do all the exchanges and returns, all the dirty work I take care of. So like
It's
you just get to have fun.
fabulous, guys.
Yeah.
It's
Champagne,
fabulous.
cookies, non-alcoholic, happy water, whatever you like. Yeah. And then there's so many options beyond that as well. I do closet organization, definitely do closet cleansing and purging, which is sometimes part of that first initial process, depending on the client. And I also do virtual style boxes. So if you're someone that doesn't live in the Chicagoland area, I also work virtually, and we can do the cleanse via Zoom and FaceTime, and I can do the pull and ship things to you, and we work our way through it. Yeah, lots of options.
I love it. Lora, I just want to say, people, if they get to work with you, like gem of the century, you've literally changed my life, the way you're helping me with things and the way you're helping me to learn how to work different in this area. But something I wanted to say, you were talking about how you do all the different polls and you come to them or they come to you depending on what they're doing. And something that shocked me when I worked with you, like, cause you would knew like a picture of me, you talked to me, all this different stuff. And at the end, after that first time when we worked together, you said it was over 4 different sizes that you had pulled. And what occurred to me is that I had no idea. I didn't need to go experimenting at all the different places. And I realized you knew she's gonna have to size up here. She's gonna have to size down there. Like you knew. And I was like, that is like, honestly, after you said that comment, I was like, this is why I've never been successful, because I'm not willing to do that, nor do I want to know. It's
impossible. And there's so many places it's overwhelming because you go into a store and maybe 1 or 2 things work for you, but then what? So like, and then you get it all and show you how to make it work together. And something else I meant to point out earlier, which I love, especially for your listeners, the beauty of like working with local designers and local boutiques is someone asked me today, who do I pull for when I have plus size, or where do I pull when I have plus size clients? Honestly, like most of the places that I pull from for plus size are local designers. It's amazing. Like it's these awesome, cool, small businesses that are making beautiful clothing for plus size clients. And I love those are options for my clients that are special and unique and beautiful. And yeah.
And they're actually nice clothes. Like they're not just like boxy prints that look horrible, that are oversized, that have no tailoring. I'm very shocked on many levels. And I know we're running out of time here, but I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. We're going to make sure for anyone that's listening, we're going to have linked to her website, Instagram, all of it. It's going to be in the show notes. So again, that's renteaclinic.com/blog, or literally wherever you're listening on your podcast, swipe right or left so you can see the writing. So we'll have all of this linked. And just thank you again so much for coming on and just sharing so much with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I always have so much fun with you.
That marks the end of today's episode. But if you're newer to the podcast, I want to tell you about something that we have, and it's a free podcast roadmap. So this is perfect for any of you that are listening where you want to be directed to very specific episodes. So let's say that you are just starting out and you want to know, what should I do right when I start on the medications? Or you're experiencing certain side effects on the GLP-1s, or you want to know what to do if you're in a plateau, or if emotional eating is taking over, or if hunger levels are high. So we have many different categories of episodes that we've talked about, because there's a lot at this point. So if you want to be able to navigate that very easily, we have it broken down by category, and also the episodes that are there, and we hyperlink to everything. So you can just click on it and find the episode, easy peasy. If you want that, you can go to renteaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. We'll have it linked right here underneath the show notes where you're listening. And you can go ahead and get that free resource so that it makes it easy for you to navigate, because I know that it's really hard when someone has an established podcast. I am such a podcast fiend. I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And when I find one that I love, but there's a lot that are out there, I am so lost. So I hope that you enjoy this free podcast roadmap. Again, the link to get to that is going to be renteaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.